Hello guys, and welcome to this webinar. How much water should I drink a day? Now, this is the question that I keep hearing over and over again in my clinic at the Body Fit Physiotherapy Clinic. We try to put these webinars together with the main purpose is answering your most common questions that you, in terms of in the area of health, that you want to get answers for. So in today's little webinar, it will probably take about 20 minutes. We're going to try and answer the question of how much water do you actually need to drink a day. There's quite a bit of conflicting information out there, so we'll try to collect some scientific evidence and to give you some perspective and some clear, concise information in terms of drinking water. So my name is Alex Blazewski. I'm the physiotherapist and director at Body Fit Physiotherapy in Hawakan, Pakuranga. And we also run the Growing Young for people over 40. You might have heard about it before. All right, so let's get started. So sorry, little technical difficulties. So why do we need water? First of all, our bodies consist of 55 to 60% water. Okay, so a biggest chunk of our body is actually water. So obviously it makes sense if we start running out, then we're in trouble. Now babies, small babies are actually 78% water, so even more so. And you can see it on the graph that yes, majority of our body is actually consists of water. Now look at different organs inside our bodies. Heart is 73% water. It's a vital organ that we know is absolutely essential to our well-being and staying alive. Brain, 73% water, and that's why you probably heard that drinking enough water is very important to maintain good concentration and memory, especially in those people who are a little bit older. Our lungs are 81% water, so for us to be able to get that oxygen and maintain a good hydration levels. Our kidneys are 79% water. And even our bones, probably one of the driest parts of our bodies, are still a third is water. It's amazing, isn't it? So why do we need water? Now, there's reasons. There's a number of processes inside our bodies that actually require water. So temperature regulation. When we sweat, we secrete essentially fluid. It's water with minerals. And so that way we're actually losing heat. So essentially the process of sweating, it helps to keep us cool, especially in the hot environment in the summer when we're exercising. Now, water also helps to remove waste from our bodies through urination. So it helps to get rid of all those toxins and nasty chemicals in our bodies. It also helps to protect our body tissues, including spinal cord, our joints, in our central nervous system, our brain. So basically, it helps to lubricate our internal organs, particularly our brain and the spinal cord. Helps the digestion. So saliva is mostly water, and the saliva is what actually kickstarts the digestion process in our bodies when we're ingesting food. It's very much a key transport mechanism. So basically blood is a good example, and the lymphatic system. So blood helps to transport oxygen and nutrients to our tissues, and water is an essential component of that. Production of hormones, and pretty much almost every little process in our body requires water. So how much water do we actually need? Now a number of factors affect that, how much water you need. So there's no one figure that fits everyone. Now, depending on the temperature, you say if in the summer you probably need more water than in the winter. How much exercise you do. People, if you have some kind of illness that and you're vomiting, you may have diarrhea or fever, then you certainly need more water as well. There's some conditions such as heart failure and kidney disease. You have to talk to your doctor to get advice on how much water you need to drink, because sometimes you actually have to drink less water if you have those specific conditions. So definitely consult with your doctor if you have any of those. Now, the general consensus is that men should drink between 10 to 12 glasses of water a day. So that constitutes about 3 liters of water per day. Okay, so it depends on depending on your size. You know, if you're a bigger person, you could be drinking that amount or maybe a little bit more. If you're a smaller person, you probably could get away with maybe 8 or 9 glasses. For women, it's 8 to 9 glasses or just over 2 liters a day. So as I said before, it depends on a number of factors in your environment. So for example, if it's a hot day and you're staying outside, you're exercising, you may actually need to drink more water. Now, pregnant women, there's a little bit of evidence to say that they need to drink 10 glasses of water a day, so a little bit more than women have to drink otherwise. Breastfeeding women, 12 glasses. Now, again, if you're either pregnant or breastfeeding, probably the best thing to do is talk to your doctor or a dietitian about this. Now, when you're exercising, again, depending on the intensity of the exercises you do, you may need to drink from 1 to 2 glasses of water every 20 minutes. So where do you get water? It's not just the pure water that you can get water from. So pure water is definitely a great source of drinking water. You can also drink juices and soft drinks, but a lot of them are very high in sugar. So this is something you need to be aware of. Keep an eye on the sugar content and try to limit. I mean, you can have some juices, but definitely you don't want to have too many of them because you'll be accumulating calories. Soups. So in the winter months, a lot of us like to have soups for dinner. So again, check the calorie content and also sodium. So basically salt content. Too much salt is not very good for you. So just double check that. Fruits and vegetables, definitely a good source of water. A lot of fruits, particularly watery fruits such as watermelons, they contain a lot of water. But if you just eat fruits and vegetables and hope to get enough water, it's probably not enough water for you. Sports drinks, some people, especially athletes, they use a lot of sports drinks, and it's okay. But again, keep an eye on the sugar and salt content in those drinks. Coffee and tea. Now they're okay, but especially coffee contains a lot of coffee is basically caffeine, and caffeine is a known diuretic. So it makes you go to the toilet a little bit more often. So it basically dehydrates you. So be a little bit careful on that. Herbal teas are okay. Herbal teas generally don't contain caffeine. Alcohol, that's another diuretic. Okay, so again, it makes you go a little bit more often. So it actually gets rid of the water in your system. So not a good source of water. And it also stresses your liver, so it's not very good for your general health. Energy drinks, not a big fan of them because most of them have a lot of sugar. If you look at the label on the back of it, you'll be absolutely horrified. Some of them contain as much as 8 to 10 teaspoons of sugar in per one little can. So especially if you are aiming to lose weight, it's definitely not a good thing to do. Now, what happens when you don't drink enough water? Okay, so we talk about how important it is to drink water, but what happens if you don't? So the short-term consequences that you may notice immediately is dizziness, confusion. So as I said, it can actually affect your concentration and memory. Seizures. In the summer, particularly if you stay in the sun, you may get heat stroke, lack of concentration, and general fatigue. Now, I hear a lot of people complaining how tired they feel in the afternoon. And it surprises me how many of these people don't actually drink enough water. So just by adjusting your water intake, you can actually feel a lot more re-energized. So something to have a look at and possibly try to drink enough water if you are feeling excessively tired and fatigued. Now, some of the long-term consequences of not drinking enough water. So constipation is one. That's a very common problem. So it actually there's a little bit of scientific evidence to say that it may cause bladder and colorectal cancers. So that's a very good reason to drink lots of water. It can actually potentially contribute to developing kidney stones later in life. Could result in eyesight problems. There's some anecdotal evidence that it may actually cause skin problems as well if you stay dehydrated for long periods of time. And the last but not least, staying dehydrated, not getting enough water can also cause accelerated aging. So a lot of people say, well, look, I'm just not used to drinking water. I just don't feel like it. So the general recommendation is try and make it a habit. Okay, so start with just having a bottle of water close to you pretty much the whole time, and just gently take little sips of water. You don't have to drink like 2 or 3 glasses at a time. Just take a little sips throughout the day, so it won't be as difficult. Now, you can also try to vary your fluid intake. You don't just have to drink water the whole time. If your taste buds are not adjusted to it. So you can drink tea, you can drink certain flavored drinks, but again, very carefully try and watch the sugar content of these drinks. So as I said, have a drink bottle with you at all times. If you're working, if you're at your desk, just try and have a bottle of water at your reach the whole time. So several fruits actually contain a lot of water. So watermelon, strawberries, grapefruit are more than 90% water. So those are good sources of water for you as well. As I said before, avoid coffee and alcohol if you don't tend to drink too much water anyway, because these drinks will further dehydrate you. So what are the things that deplete us of water? So caffeine, alcohol, staying in the heat, in the hot environment, and physical exercise. Now, can you drink too much water? I've been asked that question a couple of times as well. Now, this is unlikely, okay? Especially if you're leading kind of a normal average lifestyle. Now, if you're an athlete and you participating in the long duration events such as triathlons, marathons, ultra marathons, there's something called hyponatremia. Okay, hyponatremia is basically a condition where you start to lose a lot of electrolytes and minerals from your body. So when you're exercising, you're sweating. Now, sweat contains, apart from water, it contains nutrients such as minerals, essentially. So with sweat, you are actually losing a lot of minerals. Now, if you're just drinking pure water while you're exercising, essentially you're replacing the water content, but you're actually not replacing the minerals. So essentially, eventually, your body will run out of these minerals. Now, as I said before, this condition is relatively uncommon, and it mostly affects those athletes that participate in the very long duration sporting events, such as marathons, triathlons, and particularly ultra marathons. So if you're an average person and you only exercise, kind of to keep fit, I don't think you're generally susceptible to this. What are the additional benefits of drinking water? So by feeling full, you're actually losing weight. All right. So how does this work? Sometimes we actually feel a little bit hungry. We stay at home and you feel like, oh, I just feel like going to the fridge and grabbing something. We feel like that lingering low-grade hunger. Now, quite often that hunger is actually not hunger, it's thirst. But our brain just misinterprets the signal. So we think we're hungry. Okay, so by filling yourself up with water or drinking more water actually can make you feel more full. So you're less likely to eat more. So it's a very good tip if you're trying to lose excess weight. Now, it also improves constipation. So increased water intake can help to improve this condition. It also, as I said before, it helps to prevent certain types of cancer, particularly your bladder and colorectal cancers. There's a few studies there that looked into this, and they found some evidence that drinking enough water can help you avoid this horrible condition. It also may help to prevent kidney stones later in life, and there's a little bit of evidence. There's not that much, but there's a little bit of evidence to say that it may help to improve the health of your skin as well if you drink plenty of water. All right, now I hope you've enjoyed this little webinar today, and hopefully you will be getting your water intake sorted. And now, if you're over 40, you might have heard that we do this Growing Younger program. And if you wanted to find out what your real biological age is, you are invited to participate in the 60-minute consultation Now it's completely pain-free and it's simple to do. It involves 11 physical tests and questionnaires. As I said, it takes about 60 minutes of your time. Right now, we're offering it to you for only $19. So that's a 60-minute consultation for only $19. And you basically find out what your biological age is. Now, biological age essentially is the degree to which your body degraded over the years. Okay, so basically, let's say you could be 50 years old. Your calendar age could be 50 years old, but if you've been looking after yourself very well, you've been exercising, eating the right type of food, drinking enough water, your biological age could be more like 40. So you're actually a younger person. Your state of health is very good. Now, if you've been not exercising, if you've been maybe possibly drinking a little bit too much wine on a Friday night, then your biological age could be more than your calendar age. So if you could be 55 or 60. Now, a lot of people who go through this examination, they actually get surprised at what their biological age is. So we invite you to come and try this. As I said, it's only $19 and 60. It's a 60-minute consultation. It's pretty easy to do. We don't make you to do anything exhausting. So to sign up, you can just go to this web address, bodyfitphysio.co.za/discover, or you can just you can give us a call on 0800 11 0028. Leave your details, and one of our staff will get back to you to make an appointment. All right, that's us for today. And if you enjoy, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to share or like our video, and we'll see you during the next webinar. Have a great night.